Hey everybody, this is Curtis from PSNStores.com, and we are going to take a look at the Disney Afternoon Collection today. Very excited about this. So this is the collection of 6 old Disney NES games, DuckTales 1 and 2, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 1 and 2, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin. So there's about 5 good games in there. This is made by same people who did the Mega Man Legacy Collection, so you'll notice a lot of similarities. The difference here is, so Mega Man had save stating, this game has a rewind button, which is a godsend. It's just really nice to have when going back to these games. So, we're going to take a look at probably a couple of these. So, I've already played through them. These are, you kind of know what you're doing. These are these are pretty short games. They can be hard. They definitely can be pretty tough. But the rewind button is really nice, and so if you just want to kind of get through them, you can get through them pretty quick, which I did over the past day and a half. I think for the most part they actually hold up pretty well. Mostly, I think Tailspin's kind of the odd one out. I don't see myself playing this one ever again. It is not great. It's a if you don't know what it is, it's basically a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. But the way it controls is just not very good. I don't think it's aged very well at all. Darkwing Duck is very Mega Man-esque, for sure. And then, of course, we got DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale. So I think we'll take a look at... We might take a look at DuckTales and then a Chip 'n Dale game, I think. So maybe just a short look at both of them. So every game you can just play through. They have a time attack and a boss rush mode. In these modes, I don't believe you can use the rewind feature, but they have nice little borders where it shows time stamps for each major location in the game. So stuff you would see if somebody was speedrunning and they have the timestamps on the side. This has that stuff built in, which is pretty nice. So we're just gonna play. And man, DuckTales. I thought the remake a couple years ago, it's fine. There's a couple things I didn't really like about it, but that said, this game's still pretty good. So you can choose easy, normal, or difficult. We'll just choose normal. And we got some different levels. Our 5 levels to choose from. I think we'll start with... I think we'll do Transylvania, actually. Let's go for it. So, a few different options you can have for each game. If you hit R1, you can pause. We can go to button configuration. If we want, you can look at how to play, which has this nice little series of pages of just kind of explaining the game to you. Some of them, like this one, has all the different levels. And some more general hints as well. You can reset the game, load, or save game. If you want, we have different filters. So, currently it's set to off, but you can do a TV or a monitor filter if you would like to. Depending on your preference. For screen, you have the original. We can go full screen. So it's still got some borders, but it's a little bigger. Or we can go to widescreen. I'll leave it at original, and then you can toggle the border on or off, like keeping it on. So that's just your options, basically. That is the same for every game. So, I just got hit there. If I hold L1, I can just rewind. So we can ensure that that does not happen. Help! Huey has been kidnapped. Save him, please. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of rush through and see what we can do. That was not. Come on. See, that's the issue, is you can kind of become very reliant on the rewind button and then play very sloppily. It was actually weird. I was playing through these, and then I switched over to a different game, and I took damage in that game. I think it was Wonder Boy actually, and I got hit, and I went to rewind, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't do that. Regardless, though, I do appreciate it being in these kinds of games, because it's nice to go back to this stuff, but sometimes you forget that maybe it's a lot harder than you remember, or sometimes it's a little easier than you remember, but also sometimes it can be kind of cheap, or it's nice to just be able to rewind, not worry about it too much. One thing's for sure, the music in these games still so good. Still really good. I'm still very sloppy. But I don't want to take up too much time in these videos, so let's be quick about this stuff. Yep, see. I do really... This is great, though. Not even for obvious reasons, it's... Just the concept of a rewind button is kind of crazy in and of itself. I found myself in a bad spot, also. See if we can figure this out. There we go. And we're good. With that, let's back out. We'll show Rescue Rangers. Do I want to do one or two, though? I think we'll do the first one. And I guess for this sake, so I can't just take advantage of the rewind button. Let's do time attack just so you can see what that looks like. Oh, watch. Really? So play, race, or watch? Oh man, this is cool. Alright, Dark Energy. Let's see what you got. We're not gonna watch all of this, but... Oh, look at this pro. Just... Just killing it. This, I think, like, after this, at this point, I mean, so far, these collections have been, you know, it's Digital Eclipse doing Capcom games. So, like, obviously, you know, a Mega Man X collection would be great. But there was, like, a lot of other Disney stuff, too, that I would just... I'd be so down for. Some of which isn't necessarily Capcom. But we'll see. Okay, we should, you know, let's not watch all of this. Let's quit. That is very cool. I did not know that was a thing. The race is interesting too. So oh, okay, so you can just straight up race people. That is very, very cool. Let's go ahead and play. See how this goes. I'm no pro here. This is one of those weird games for me when I was young. I didn't play much of this game. I think my grandma like had it, so I would play it at her house, and I don't remember getting very far. But it was one of those weird ones where it's like, I only ever played a little bit of it. So my only memory was just of this first stage. DuckTales was the one I think I spent a lot more time on. That said though, I love me some Chip and Dale. All that old school Disney stuff is brings you back. Crap. Alright, well anyways, you know, we've established I am terrible without the rewind button. So let's go ahead and quit back out. There's a couple other things I wanted to show really quick. Oh, there's Boss Rush. Does that also... Oh, we can also watch that too. Oh man. I can see myself just spending a bunch of time just watching people run through these games that are much better than I am. Let's see. So anyways, you got music for each game that you can go through. So, I mean, DuckTales is like the obvious one. We can go through all that stuff. And then they got gallery. So much like the Mega Man Legacy Collection, they got a bunch of old artwork put together to go. And some of the cool things about this is some of them have like caption, kind of like describing what it is. So this one, when these games were originally created in the 1980s and 1990s, designers at Capcom Japan used an abundance of reference material provided by Disney to ensure that the games matched the look and feel of the shows. And so you have kind of the reference material, the actual look of the game. Not all of Disney's reference material was reproduced faithfully. Dracula Duck, on the left, in the original DuckTales game, shares only a passing resemblance to Dracula on the right, as designed for the DuckTales TV episode Ducky Horror Picture Show. The iconic robot bulldogs in the first level of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers were originally designed for the episode Categories Not Included. Often, iconic character illustrations were reproduced as faithfully as possible by Capcom Japan's artists in the games, such as Darkwing Duck's appearance on the game's title screen. So you got stuff like that. We've got... What else do we have? Original artwork. And so here's just a bunch of really cool... This is good. I don't want to show all of it. Let's see. We got museum. This is really cool too. So these are the original box arts. They just scanned them in. One thing I wish, because this was also maybe we started the slideshow. This was in Mega Man Legacy Collection as well. And if I remember correctly, in that one you could actually zoom in on the box arts. But I don't think there's a zoom button on this. Because like some of that, like on Mega Man, they have like advertisements, so the text was kind of hard to read. I think in this you could probably read it. I just kind of want to be able. I would like to be able to see it up close. But even so, it's got. Yeah, this stuff is great. And then odds and ends. This one's good too. So this previously unpublished DuckTales art, recently discovered in Capcom's archives, appears to have been intended for the packaging illustration for the Japanese version of DuckTales. I mean, look at this. This is fantastic. So we got some stuff like that and some old like commercials. Advertisements. Hang tough, be a rescue ranger. Video games in the United States did not have specific release dates back in 1990 like they do today, but this wasn't the case in Japan. This advertisement tells players exactly when Rescue Rangers will be in stores June 8th. Looks like there's a DuckTales advertisement too. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff in there. I didn't want to show all of it, obviously. This is a nice little collection, much like the Mega Man Legacy collection as well. Pretty well put together. I like it. I like it quite a bit. I hope to see more of this stuff. I think this stuff has been pretty interesting, and I really do appreciate all this gallery stuff, like everything here. All that stuff is really cool to see. I think the Mega Man one... Maybe there might have been more of the Mega Man one. But that's also dependent on how much you can actually dig up. I like this title screen too. It just looks good. So that is the Disney Afternoon Collection. It is out now on PS4. It's $20. Of the 6 games, I think, other than Tailspin, I think the other 5 hold up pretty well. All the different, like, the time trials and boss rush options, the ability to watch other people's runs, like, I think that stuff is really cool and interesting. I think this stuff is worth checking out and going back to. So, that said, thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you later.